The Broncos fell 34-27 to the Los Angeles Chargers here at SoFi Stadium. Ultimately a tale of two halves for the Denver Broncos, who started out very hot. They scored touchdowns on their first three possessions, the first time since week 2 of the 2023 season that they were able to do that. They jumped out to a 21-10 lead. They later led by 11 points in the second half as well, but unfortunately scored just 6 points in the second half. The Chargers used a 21-0 run in the second half to come away with the win. The Broncos did close the gap late, and they were able to kick a field goal, attempt an onside kick. Unfortunately, the Chargers were able to recover the onside kick. The Broncos, things kind of changed at the end of the first half. Chris Abrams gets the first interception of his young career, and it seems like the Broncos are going to go to halftime with an 11-point lead. Unfortunately, the Broncos punted away after a short offensive drive. There's a penalty on the punt, and the Chargers are able to attempt a free kick. They're able to cut the lead to 8 points at halftime. It felt like a little bit of a turning point, and like I mentioned, the Broncos, those penalties just kept going in the second half. Some untimely defensive penalties in the second half really hurt the Broncos, and extended Chargers drives. I mentioned the 21-0 run they went on in the second half. The run game for the Broncos, it was a positive early as they ran for 43 yards on the opening drive, which ended with an Aric DiLalla touchdown, the first of his career. Unfortunately, didn't gain quite the same sort of momentum with the run game. And while I did mention the penalty yardage for the Denver Broncos, it was almost non-existent for the Chargers until the late moments of the game when the Chargers intentionally took a delay of game. They were called just one penalty for 3 yards. There was a moment at one point in the second half where Bo Nix threw a deep to Marvin Mims. It looked like defensive pass interference, but it was not called, and the Broncos could not score until late in the game. So the Broncos' playoff chances will have to wait, and the Broncos now need to rebound. They sit at 9-6. They will travel next Saturday to face the Cincinnati Bengals, but for now at SoFi Stadium, they fall 34-27 to the Los Angeles Chargers, let an 11-point second half lead get away, and will now look to move forward.